What's up, YouTube fam? Hey, check out the subscribe button down below. Hit it and hit the alert button right next to it. That way you'll be notified every time I make a video, and you'll find all my content every single time it comes out, so you won't miss a beat. Today I want to get right into it. So I want to talk about perspective. It's a huge factor in entrepreneurship and business and overall life, right? So perspective changes everything, always and always. Perspective is everything. It's how you view the world. It's how you view yourself. It's how you view your exterior world, your internal world, all of it. It's how you're viewing me right now with a certain perspective. I'm viewing this camera with a certain perspective, thinking how you might view me. Think about that. So perspective, right? So let's get right into it. So how you utilize perspective is all up to you. It's completely up to you how you utilize perspective. However, there's several ways that you can actually manifest things and harness perspective to make it super, super beneficial for you at the end of the day. So when you wake up in the morning, you have multiple choices of how you want to perceive anything: yourself, the day, the world, how work's going to go, how your business is going to go. I mean, let's say if you don't work and you have your own business, how a relationship is going to go, anything. All of that's perspective. So when you change your perspective about something, it's super powerful, because what it actually does is it activates neural networks within your brain that actually change based on your perspective. So the way you're seeing something is actually going to change the way it is in real life, in reality, as we say, based on your perspective of it. So, starting a business, starting a company, if you go in and you say, hey, I have this perspective that this shit's gonna suck, it's not gonna make any money, that's gonna be super hard, or I can't do that, there's no way I could ever accomplish that task or duty or whatever that is. I mean, if you have that perspective will become true. Like, if you look at it from that angle, that will become reality. However, there's a whole different way you can look at things to change that around. So think about it this way, right? So let's say that you look at a certain degree or a certain job or some level of attainment in society, and you look at a person that's very similar to you. They may even be less educated than you, and they're at that level, or they've attained a certain level of success or position in life. You can perceive it as, wow, that person did it, how can't I do it, right? Like, why wouldn't I be able to do the same thing that they did if they're less educated than me, or I perceive it that they're less educated than me? Like, you know where I'm going with that? Like, it's all about how you perceive what you're seeing around you. So if you perceive yourself having success, and you perceive yourself as having, a great day instead of a shitty day, then that's just what's going to happen, because it's all about the way you twist it in your head. I mean, literally 99% of everything around us is all in our head. People say that 80% is what you do with something, and 20% dictates what happens to you. So that's a huge majority. I mean, 80%, we're talking 80% of what happens in your life is your responsibility. 20% of it is outside forces. So that's massively insane. I mean, you're talking about the level of perception that you can use in your life and in your business or whatever venture you're going after is just crazy. Like, if I wake up every single day and I perceive like everything's going to go right, and I'm going to have a perfect setup, and I'm going to be able to just accomplish this and that, and I'm going to go after this and that, and it's going to happen just like I want it to, a lot can happen. And I mean, and it does. So the way I utilize perspective is I say, well, I could look at it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways, but I'm going to choose the perspective that has the best outcome for me, right? Like, I'm going to choose the perspective of, hey, that thing right there could be bothersome, but doesn't really bother me, because I'm going to perceive it as non-bothersome, and I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to let that just be. I'm going to perceive it as, I have this way more important thing that I have over here that I'm doing that's awesome and that I'm really good at, and I'm going to just focus on that, and that's just my thing. And I get to choose that because I'm a human being. We're the luckiest beings on the planet because we actually have the power of choice in our brains, and we get to choose our perspective on pretty much anything. So with that being said, perspective is insanely important in business, and if you're starting a business or going after a new venture, if you're doing that, you need to understand your mindset, your perspective, and like I talked about yesterday, all about your vision and having a vision, and being able to follow that vision and utilize it, or it was the day before, but vision, mindset, perception, and your perspective. Those things are all killer, and they're key. And so, I know I'm not talking too specific here. This is a pretty high level, right? But if you put this all together in your head and you do a little research and you think about it and think about maybe what's the perception that you've been using in your life lately? How have you been perceiving yourself? How have you been perceiving others around you? Have you been perceiving things completely wrong? Or have you been spot on with your perception, right? Something might even be real. Something might even be like realistic. Like you might be seeing something really shitty go on, but you don't actually have to perceive it as shitty as it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you have no involvement in other people's faults or problems or issues. Like, so don't perceive the situation as you being involved in that. You know what I'm saying? So perceive it as just, you're doing your own thing, you're having your own business, and you're having your own success, and you have nothing to do with, somebody else's issue. You're your own person, you're only responsible for yourself. So that's a little bit of a Monday action for you guys today right now. I'm super busy. I just wanted to pump that out there real quick. And just always remember perspective. Perspective changes everything. All right, I'll catch you guys on Tuesday. Thanks for watching.